Hello and welcome to another Evil podcast. Today we have a bit of speculation for you, and then we have like kind of a intro to us, like context for our opinions type thing.
Yeah.
Talking about how
Something
we
we
got into tech,
should have probably done a bit ago.
like near the beginning.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
it shows that we actually, know what we're talking about, kind of,
Just some context to our opinions and our biases, that kind of thing.
Yeah, and you'll get to learn that Anis is very biased.
Yep, I will be the one that's going to come off as biased. Absolutely.
Definitely. Before we do that, let's talk about our news. Kinda. It's being replaced by the speculation of the Apple event. So Apple has their event on September 7th. That's a little over 2 weeks from now.
Yeah.
And they already know you're gonna get a new iPhone, new Apple Watch. Some talks about new AirPods, but they just had new AirPods drop. So I'm not really sure about that one.
Well, people are saying that it could be new AirPod Pros, which haven't had a refresh in quite a while. So,
Yeah.
or it has only been on that first generation, actually. It hasn't had a refresh at all.
I feel like it doesn't really need a refresh, to be honest.
No, yeah, I agree. I've been using my AirPods for a while now, as we'll see later. Stay tuned. But yeah, they're still very good for me.
They're still great, yeah. We have the notch on the iPhone that's been
This
talked
is the
about
projection
for a
now.
while. Yeah, this is all speculation. So, there were actually leaks of a working iPhone 14, and it was in hand with this new notch style right here.
Really? Okay.
Which it happens every year. The phone gets leaked by someone that works in a factory.
Yeah.
And they probably lose their jobs after.
Yeah.
But this is gonna be the new design, hopefully.
Hopefully. You
What
are
do
a
you
fan
think
of
about
this?
it? I don't mind it actually.
Okay.
Also, I didn't really care much about the notch anyway. After I have a 13 and the notch was shrinked,
Right.
so I kind of don't really notice it anymore. I didn't notice it before, but if I go from a 13 to a 12, I'm gonna notice how big it is on 12. But this, I'm not sure if it's less intrusive than a notch or more intrusive. I have to actually use it.
Right, yeah. I mean,
And also, what were you saying? Sorry.
oh no, I mean, I was just saying, like, I don't think there's a point in speculating just because we don't know what the final design is going to be. But either way, I think, like, either way, it's still fine. Like, they're both just,
Yeah.
like, I don't care either way. They're fine to me.
If this were to like actually be real, would you consider upgrading?
No, because I don't care.
Oh.
I just, spoilers again, but I recently just upgraded, so I don't have a reason to upgrade for quite a while.
Understandable. If you're on AT&T though, you get that like $1,000 off like every year, and they kind of just force you to upgrade. Not really force, but you can't say no to that. But besides this, we have some speculation on the cameras as well. So there's going to be a 48 megapixel camera on the back.
Okay.
Apple's been with a 12 megapixel for a while, so that would be a pretty cool upgrade. And also speculation on autofocus on the front facing camera.
Really? Okay, that's cool.
Yeah. That's pretty cool. They've been revamping the front cameras for a while with their like kind of following cam they have on the iPad and the Macs.
Yeah.
So that'd be a nice little touch just to help out with that.
What else is rumored besides that?
Colors, Apple Watches. There's supposed to be a extreme sport version of the Apple Watch.
Yeah, I heard something about that. Yeah, Apple Watch Pro or something.
Yeah, which that's cool, I guess.
Yeah.
The Apple Watch is already sporty enough. And
Absolutely.
it's supposed to have more durability and more battery life. But as an Apple Watch user, I get 2 days out of it. I have a Series 7. I had a Series 5 and I got 2 days out of it.
Yeah.
So I don't really see a problem with the battery life. If it's 3 days, then that's cool. But either way, I charge it every night, so it's not really going to matter
Yeah.
to me personally.
The way I see
I
it,
probably wouldn't even get it anyway.
like increase from like a day, like 2 days to 3 days doesn't really matter much. If there's going to be like an increase, I really only see a point if it reaches that like 1 week mark where you can go a week without charging it, then it would be like a huge game changer for a lot of people. And it would cause a lot of people like wanting to buy it. But besides that, I don't think it'll do much.
That would feel pro. That would feel Apple Watch Pro.
That would feel pro.
Also, I feel like for the extreme sport version, it should still be aluminum. It's probably not going to be aluminum, but I feel like it should still be aluminum.
Yeah.
Especially when you're working out, you don't want a really heavy thing on your arm.
Yeah, no, not at all.
Plus, if you do a lot of weights, might get banged around, and you don't really want to care about it. That's where durability comes from, which would be nice. But if it's not aluminum, I don't think it'd be very much interesting for a lot of people.
Yeah, that's true.
Because you want it to be as light and non-intrusive as possible. We already talked about the AirPods. Oh, an Apple VR headset.
Apple VR, yeah.
I don't think that's happening.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be like the Microsoft HoloLens.
Yeah, yeah.
That's what speculation says. It's supposed to be an AR mixed reality headset. Instead of they put you in a virtual world, you make the world more virtual. Which, if it was real and it actually happened, that'd be pretty cool. It'd be some nice competition to Oculus.
True, yeah.
And it would bring the technology from the HoloLens down to reality, so to speak. But I don't think that's going to happen. If it does, then I'll give you a 20.
Really? I'll take that.
Yeah.
Free 20, huh?
If it happens, I'll give you a 20, but
Easy money.
It's not happening.
You know what? Now I'm rooting for it. It will happen.
Now you're rooting for it? You just want that 20, don't you? We do have iOS 16 coming out. I've been on a beta. It's pretty good. It's very stable.
Nice.
Especially with the most recent one, Beta 5. It's very good.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to the public release because I just don't care too much about being on betas or being on the cutting edge right now on my phone because I just use it for like normal phone stuff. But all those new features from that last event, that'll be nice to have finally.
It's very nice, especially with the my favorite feature right now is the battery indicator.
Really?
It's back. So you have your battery percentage back, and it's nice. Also, the widgets are pretty cool, and the lock screen is nice. It's a different feel, but the game changer for me is the battery indicator, which is kind of funny.
That is pretty funny.
And iPads, like usual, they're going to be delayed to October.
Right.
But the OS, unlike usual, will be delayed until October also for the iPad event.
Oh, really?
Which is new, but I don't really get why, because the iPad OS beta is also very stable. But that's just an Apple choice, and that's speculation.
Yeah, yeah.
But besides that, there's not really much happening.
Yeah, I mean...
What do you think?
It seems like a pretty, overall, like, pretty average event. The only thing I'm, like, actually looking forward to might be the AirPod Pro 2s, which, if it's a big enough upgrade, I might consider it. But honestly, like, mine are still really good as it is, so I might not even do that.
You're lucky. You can actually use those.
Yeah.
Feels bad. I bought some and I couldn't even use them. They just, like, spit out of my ear.
Yeah, that is tough. Those are really good earphones.
Okay. So we have a bit of a context to our opinions, like we said in the beginning.
Yep.
And for me, it all starts not with the iPod, but my first computer or my first piece of technology. It was the old iMac from 1998.
Oh, really?
The iMac 15 with the first one that like Steve Jobs kind of like brought into the fold when he first came back to Apple.
Okay.
The one with the clear is really cool.
With all the different colors?
I remember like, yeah.
Okay.
It was super, super cool. I remember the buttons. I remember the whole everything. It was great.
Now, which color did you
have? I was really young. We had the blue one.
Oh, okay.
The blue one was dope. I think that was like the flagship color too.
Nice.
But yeah, the blue one was like so dope. We even have the keyboard. I still use that keyboard too.
Really? Nice.
I actually like it a lot. The mouse, it's burned in hell, but you know, the mouse was bad. But a keyboard works great.
Nice.
And then here we have my history of tech. And as you can see, it's non-biased. I have a lot of diversity in my.
So before you begin, I have a question for you.
Yeah.
So it says your history of tech, and there's you nowhere to be found. All I see is Apple and Razer. What's with that, huh? Is that? Are you saying that is you?
Those are the two brands that are on this list. You see diversity, two brands.
Yep. Look at you.
Yeah. So we start off here with an iPod Shuffle 2nd Gen. This was my first personal kind of thing that I got. That was tech. And it still works. I still use it.
Okay.
Actively. It's great.
Nice.
I love iPods. iPods are I don't know. It's homey, you know?
Yeah.
Something just that has one purpose and does it very well.
Right.
It's just appealing to me, you know?
I can see that.
Because now phones do 1,000 different things.
Absolutely.
Going back to something that's simple and it's not connected to the internet. It charges through the same port you listen to the audio with. It's very cool. It's very fun.
Truly.
And then we go on to another iPod. This is my first device that had a screen.
Okay.
And how I saw it was a baby iPhone.
Yeah,
you know?
Pretty much.
You have all the functionality of an iPhone, but it's not a phone. And I got this actually before they even had FaceTime.
Really? Wow. Dang.
Yeah. And that was back when YouTube was built into the OS.
True, yeah. The good old days.
The good old days. But yeah, I had those iHome, the brand iHome.
Oh yeah, those iHome speakers and stuff.
Yeah, I had a whole dock for it. It had lights that would sync to the music.
Very nice.
It sounded like absolute trash. And I also have an iDog. That's a really, really old thing.
Yeah.
That still works too. But I would play my music through there and it's dance to it or whatever. It's really cool.
Nice.
And that's my music experience for a little bit. A lot of this mainly music based.
Okay.
I always had music on there. I always downloaded a bunch of songs. Legally.
Of course. Yeah.
Legally. Yeah. In Pirates Bay, you know.
Yep.
That's legal, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
And then we go to another iPod Touch, the 5th Gen. This came out
I had that
around
same
the
one.
same time as.
Yeah,
Really?
but I had the yellow
Did you
color.
have this color? You had
Yep.
the yellow? Yo, the little loop that it had,
That was
insane.
nice. Honestly, I liked it.
It was very nice. I miss it. I would never drop that thing. I had it without a case too for maybe a few months. And then I got a Griffin case.
Nice.
I don't think they make cases anymore. It was an OtterBox, but a bit slimmer and kind of better in my opinion.
Really? Okay.
Because the rubber on it was grippier. But it was nicer. It was nicer to hold. But this thing was incredibly thin.
Oh, nice.
And it you know what I mean? You had it too.
Yeah.
And it was
I know what you
incredibly
mean.
thin and it was just surprising. It felt there's nothing that looked like it. Even the iPhone at the time, the iPhone 5 didn't look like this.
Yeah. This thing was crazy thin.
Yeah. And then we move on to my first phone.
Okay.
It's a bit of a, step back in terms of technology.
Yeah, the iPhone
And I
4S.
still use my iPod Touch while using this iPhone.
Okay, right.
And I had this iPhone for a very long time.
Nice.
2 years isn't that long, but it was a very long time for
Oh
me.
yeah, in
It
child
felt like
years, there's an eternity.
This thing would not die. It was a pain because they kept updating it and it kept getting slower and slower. And it would it felt like it would catch on fire when I would charge it. It was pain. It sucked. But before then, it was great. Before I got my hands onto it, it was great. My parents gave this to me when they got their iPhone 6s.
Oh, okay.
So yeah. And then this is where I kind of go crazy into the Apple ecosystem.
Just diving in.
Just dove straight in head first.
Okay.
I got an iPhone 7 and I love this phone in the same color, by the way.
Oh,
I
nice.
think I matched like all my colors to what I actually had.
I remember this phone. You having it in high school?
I love this phone. I still have it. It's on my wall.
Nice.
But this phone was great. It looked great. It felt great. It didn't have the problem of like, accidentally just breaking it in half casually.
Right.
Yeah. Like, don't you hate it when your phone just breaks in half?
Yeah, I would hate
Touch
that.
ID. Touch ID was great. And these didn't have like actual physical home buttons. It was capacitive,
Yeah. Yep.
which I liked because my iPhone 4S, the home button stopped working.
Oh, really?
Like it worked, but like it didn't press in. Yeah. That iPhone 4S just was a pain. And then the same year, this is when Apple got rid of the headphone jack. So I got AirPods the same year that this came out.
Okay.
And then I got an Apple Watch also the same year, the Series 2. Because like I think the Series 2 was cheaper than the first gen.
Oh, really? Okay.
Oh, yeah. Also, the naming scheme was so stupid. So there was like the Apple Watch, like the first gen, right? And then an Apple Watch Series 1, which was the same, like, it was so dumb. So it was like, I think it was just like a processor upgrade.
Oh, okay.
And it came out at the same time as the Series 2, I believe. And I don't think there was any body changes to the Series 2. Yeah, there wasn't any body changes to the Series 2. But I don't even remember differences. I was just like, the Series 1 is dumb.
Right.
And the naming is stupid. And then I got my uncle's hand-me-down Series 3 when he upgraded to a Series 4.
Nice.
So that's where I got that from. And it was great. I didn't have the cellular capabilities on it yet. It had cellular, but I didn't like put it on plan because I always had my phone on me, And then we move on to my first iPad.
Okay.
Yeah. I followed you with this one.
I do remember getting
I was
it.
like, taking notes on an iPad is great. So I got an iPad and it was a great time.
It really was.
All I had was like, yeah, like you don't have to carry around a binder anymore, Like all that paper and just binders and all in one little device. I just had like a little tiny what's it called? A satchel. I just put that in there.
Yeah.
And I had a power bank and that's it. That's all I brought.
Nice.
It was great. And we had those school tablets, remember?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I do.
Yeah, they sucked.
Yep.
They were the worst.
I have some fond memories of it, but overall, like, objectively, they were terrible.
I tried my hardest to return it at the beginning of the school year when they gave it to us. And I remember every like year at the end of it where we had to return it, I had the hardest time trying to find where it was. It sucked. And then we move on to, I keep like doing big leaps.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we move on to my next phone. In 2018, I got this.
Okay. Yeah.
Did I get my iPad in 2018? Yeah, I got, I think it was in my senior year. I got this.
I think, yeah, senior or like junior. I remember you getting this.
And I remember the story behind it. My mom had dropped her iPhone in the pool.
Yeah.
And they had a deal. So I got a phone as well.
Yep. I remember this. Yeah. The start of your deals for iPhones.
Yeah. I mean, look.
Hey, I mean,
the deals are great.
Yeah.
And AT&T just like was on point with the deal. I don't know why. They still are. It's crazy. But that's beside the point. This iPhone XS was really, really cool. I liked the colors. It still had Touch ID.
No, it
It didn't
not.
have Touch ID. It had 3D Touch.
Yeah,
I mean,
3D touch, true.
It had 3D Touch, which was my favorite feature. I held on to it for a while because I love 3D Touch. And it had an OLED. And the OLED was really, really nice. Like, the LCD kind of sucked. OLED was great. And I got a new watch, of course.
Of course.
I got this right after I got out of boot camp.
Nice. Okay.
I got this watch because I think my Series 3 was like sitting somewhere for like 6 months and just wasn't working anymore. Yeah. But yeah, that's why I got that. But this iPhone XS was great. I still love it. I have fond memories of it. I remember it wasn't very well received though.
Really? I don't remember that.
It was, they were like, it wasn't an incremental enough upgrade.
Right.
It was an S upgrade, of course, but it felt like too small because all that they changed was just colors and
making that bigger one.
Camera. True. And making a bigger one.
True. Okay.
But yeah, it was very, very small. And then we have my first laptop, my first PC.
Oh, okay.
And I think we kind of like matched on like what we got, actually.
Yeah, similar specs, but different, completely different vibes.
Completely different vibes. But this was, the reason I got this is I had bought a Mac. It was a MacBook Pro.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
and
it was
then
a
you
MacBook
returned
Pro
it.
15, and I returned it.
You realized your mistake.
And I realized my mistake. I liked it. It was great. It works very well, and it like, you know, syncs to everything. And yeah, it was a great computer. But I wanted more out of my computer, so I got this on a great deal. And the reason I got this was the build quality. It was made out of all metal.
Oh, yeah, true.
And it actually looked nice. I didn't like feel like I was losing by using this laptop, you know? Because once you have the build quality of an Apple laptop, everything else feels like garbage.
Right, yeah.
And the trackpad, massive trackpad, still they have the best trackpads in my opinion, and the best build qualities out of any Windows laptop, in my opinion, because it's sturdy. There's no flex anywhere. It feels premium. It feels like the price you're paying for, you know?
Yeah, I can see the appeal.
And it's not super gamer. It's just a black laptop. You don't even need the RGB on. You just turn it off.
Right.
Or you can have white lights, and then the back logo you turn off too. Like, you know, it's subdued. It doesn't scream gamer. If I got another laptop with the same specs, it would scream, this guy plays games. Yeah,
especially at that time. Yeah, there was nothing that was like stealth gamer.
Yeah. With this, powerful, great, horrible battery life.
Yep.
The battery lasted for like 4 hours at max. Max. Yeah, it sucked. And I also had a problem with the battery. It, what's it called? It like ballooned.
Oh, damn.
But I solved that by just taking it out and threw it in the trash. So I just ran it without a battery.
Just wall power?
Yeah, just wall power.
Nice.
Which I'm glad they can do that. Some laptops can't do that.
Yeah, true.
But that was very convenient. But it happens because a side effect of having a metal enclosure and having such powerful components, a lot of heat. And that's what the heat does to the batteries.
Right.
Then we skip down to my first iPad Pro. I saw this when it came out, and I wanted it so bad because it solved a lot of the problems I had with the other iPad that I had.
Really? Okay.
Charging the Apple Pencil was stupid.
Oh, yeah. It still is on the old ones.
It's still stupid on the old ones. It was so dumb. And you just put it on top, charge it. It's nice. And if you want to like erase something, you don't have to like tap your toolbar. You just double tap on it and you erase it. You know, it's nice. It had a lot of convenient things that were nice. The screen, very cool. I still have this. I have this to this day. I still use it. It's great. Plenty of power, not running out of, you know, it's not feeling slow whatsoever. I even use it on my monitor. It has a Type-C output.
Right, yeah.
The new ones have Thunderbolt, but this one had a Type-C, and it was the first one that had Type-C. Very cool. It made it feel like a computer. And they even added desktop browsing. So
yeah.
It basically had the same functionalities as a computer. And I actually use this as my laptop and still use this as my laptop for classes.
Really?
So,
okay.
Yeah, I don't want to lug around this 4-hour battery life computer that I have.
That's fair.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you use your computer in class?
I do sometimes. We'll get to that. We'll get to it when I go through my history.
This thing even runs Lockdown browser, bro.
Nice. I did not know that. I've never had to use Lockdown browser, thankfully, because that sounds like cancerous, but
yeah, it is cancerous. Also, I got headphones, and I finally got my speaker that I wanted. I think the HomePod came out in 2018 as well, but I always wanted a HomePod because
ever since you were a little child.
Since I like got into speakers, I was always trying to get like a hi-fi audio, and there's a difference like from low to mid quality audio. It sounds about the same, but there's a certain like richness that comes with the higher end of it. You know,
for sure.
It sounds different. It sounds fuller, and I want a HomePod specifically because of the what's it called? The AI EQ, the adaptive EQ was very nice.
Yeah,
and there's an actual subwoofer in it, so the basses aren't being produced from the tweeters or anything else. There's 7 tweeters in it that like handle the mids to high ends, and everything sounds clear. There's no distortion. I was super picky about how I want music sounding. And instead of having to make a whole new EQ or like have my EQ change per genre that I had, this did it for me.
Nice.
I'm pretty sure no one else in like our age is as particular about how things sound as I am.
Right, yeah.
But I'm picky about it, even in my car. I have different mixes for the EQ on the speakers for each genre I have.
So
that's just how I am.
Quick question, just for the audience, did this music taste develop before or after you had your Civic that was bass boosted?
Oh, this was well, I actually found it funny having the Civic with the 212s in the back.
Man, it was
just pure bass.
That was rough on the ears.
It was rough on my glass. I actually cracked.
I would imagine.
Yeah. Yo, imagine going down the highway, right? And you can't see through your mirrors because they're shaking violently.
Man. Yeah.
I don't know why I listen to music like that, but I'm glad I stopped. Because I all I heard was bass.
Yeah.
It was just bass. That's it. But yeah, besides that, I'm very particular about how things sound.
Yeah.
I wanted the bassiest thing in the world in the car for some reason. Like I was still the same way about how things sounded, but except in that car, I was like, you know what, this bass is pretty cool. So I'll just like, blast it. Because no one else could do that.
Yeah.
And I also got Powerbeats Pro. I was actually really glad when these came out.
Because they stay in your ear?
The only thing I didn't like was the case. They stay in my ear, and it's just pretty cool.
Yeah.
Because I had Powerbeats 2, and it had a little wire that connects to them still.
I remember this.
And it sucked. But these are cool. They had 8 hours of battery life per bud. I still have them. I don't use them besides like to work out.
Right. Okay.
But it's nice. If we skip down 2020 to 2021, I got a new phone on an AT&T deal.
Right. Of course. You gotta.
The 12 Pro Max, and I had the higher storage tier because that's what gave you access to like their. What was the picture? It was raw.
Raw.
It was raw photo capture. Yeah. The Pro Raw. And Pro Raw is very, very nice. It's not a feature that you need, but it's just nice to have if you take a lot of pictures.
Absolutely.
This was the first like major redesign in a while.
True.
And I really enjoy it. What do you think about it?
I like the 12. I mean, The only really redesign aspect that I liked a lot was like going to the straight edges. That was pretty nice. But overall, as you'll see later, like phones was not really a thing where I was very particular.
You really cared. Yeah. Also, with the 12 series, they brought better battery life. This thing got 2 days of battery life, easy.
Wow.
3 if I just really didn't care about charging it, but 2 easy. My current phone, 2 easy, no problem at all. I got AirPod Maxes as well, and it had the same adaptive EQ as with the HomePod. Also, they have an extended bass range, so you get actual sub bass with it. And it has spatial audio, which I don't really care much for spatial audio, but I cared about the technology and portability.
Right.
Because I could do critical listening, like at a construction site. I wouldn't hear the construction.
Right.
This has the best noise canceling of any headphone I've tried ever. And it has the best listening experience. And it gives like a sense of actual space around you because of how deep the ear cups are.
Right.
And how far away they are from your ear. They feel like open backs in that sense.
Really?
Yeah. Of how like spatial it is. I guess that's a whole gimmick. Even without the spatial audio, it feels very spacious around you, which is very nice.
That is nice.
It punches above its price bracket in that terms.
Which is crazy to say about something $550.
But if you're talking about headphones, like people that get into actual like expensive headphones, this is not even chump change.
Oh yeah, I agree with you for sure.
$1,000, and then getting this like quality of audio, like you would need much more things than just $500. $500 is a steal for what it does and the quality it gives and the portability. Because what you're really paying for is the portability of this high quality audio. But yeah, I'm not even gonna go into that because it's way more like the higher end audio, like from this to step up. It's easy, like just $3,000.
Wow.
Easily. And then last year to now, I got a new phone, the 13 Pro Max. Of course.
AT&T deal again.
AT&T deal again, coming in clutch. So they have on 13 Pro Max bigger aperture on the cameras on the back. They have the ProRes for video, or what was it Pro?
Oh yeah, ProRes, I believe.
Yeah, and then ProMotion on the screen is 120 hertz instead of 60. That's really nice. It hurts when I use like 60 hertz phones now.
Yeah, I can believe it.
My eyes actually hurt. It sucks. Same great battery life. Still an amazing phone. Just a smaller notch. Not really. That's cool. Once you get used to it, then, it doesn't matter. But like if you switch to someone's phone and they have the old notch, you're going to notice it.
Yeah, for sure.
And then I got a new Apple Watch. Again, AT&T deal.
Nice.
It's okay. I don't really... The bigger screen is okay. It's pretty cool. I just kind of use it as the same as I use my other watches.
Yeah, of course. I mean,
but the new colors on the cases are pretty cool.
Yeah, that blue is pretty stunning.
Blue is pretty nice. And then lastly on the list is my new computer.
All right.
This thing is great. This thing is a dream. It does everything I need it to do. It handles it like an absolute champ.
Very nice.
And I'm doing like 4 or 5 different things right now with 3 monitors. And I touch it, not even hot. The fans aren't even running.
Wow.
It has a vapor chamber to cool it. So it can cool passively without fans. Just relax. It's the most Mac-like computer I've used.
Nice.
And I compared it to the M1 Mac.
Oh yeah. When Pro, you had that for a little bit.
Yeah, I had it for a little bit. My mom has one. It has, I think it's an M1 Max. That's the like highest end for that it goes. Very, very, very cool. The CPU, nothing compared to the M1 Max, but the GPU, it struggles on the M1.
Yeah, of course.
Compared to this one. So for renders and stuff like that, a GPU like this will do you better, but for like computing power, just like CPU bound tasks, that M1 can't be beat. It's scary. And it's dead silent while doing it and like cools to the touch the whole time. It's crazy. But yeah, I think that wraps up what I've had.
Okay.
And then, as you can see, I have a lot of Apple products. Yep. I wouldn't say I'm an Apple show, but for me,
you know what
design,
you like. Yeah.
Yeah, I know what I like. And good design is really what I look for in a product. Mm-hmm. You know, if I'm going to spend this money, I want it to look nice and feel nice in the hand, you know?
For sure.
And it's going to last. Like, besides like me upgrading every year, those phones will have lasted for years. Like 4 or 5 years at least.
Yeah, for sure.
My laptop, I can check how long I had it for. From 2019 to 2022. I had that laptop.
Nice.
And it's still working. It's doing, I gave it to my mom. She uses it for like some of her work stuff.
Okay.
Like that laptop is still kicking. But I get things for quality and design to have a whole like kind of aesthetic, and if it doesn't match, it just makes me feel off in my head. Like, you know, like you know when like there's one like glaring thing,
right? Yeah, it just doesn't match your aesthetic.
Yeah, it doesn't match. But yeah, it's like good design makes a product for me.
Okay.
So I also have like 3 monitors for my setup. One of the monitors including the laptop. That's kind of like the power that I get with this computer, especially. I use it mainly as a desktop.
Nice.
And that's really nice. I can run 2 other monitors. One's a 1440p monitor, one's a 1080p monitor. But it makes my workflow very, very seamless.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
And then I went all wireless with my keyboard and mouse. Mm-hmm. And I've already talked about how I hate G-Hub.
Yeah.
And I have what I have in terms of that. But yeah, it's just, it all matches. It all feels good. It's all matte black. And, you know.
Yeah.
Great design. Great design. Great build quality. Lasts for years. Mm-hmm. That's my whole thing with technology.
So what I'm getting from this is you have zero biases, right?
I'm not biased, but I go for what I like in design. Yeah. And also I'm too deep in the Apple ecosystem to... But I've shown that I, venture out of that.
Venture out into Razer.
But yeah, it's a better quality product though. Yeah. Like I wouldn't go have a MacBook and then switch to like, I don't know, what's Samsung S Tab, whatever, right, yeah, something. Yeah. Something that's just completely plastic and just doesn't feel nice, you know? Like you don't get a Porsche and then go to a Civic.
Well, maybe. Yeah.
Maybe.
The Type R is very nice.
The Type R is very nice. Speaking of switching around, let's switch around to your
list. I guess we should do that. All right. I guess before I get into the history of my tech, I'll talk about how I got into tech and all that. I can't really remember maybe like the first device or something that like really made me get into tech. I just remember always being interested in technology, like when I first came to America, just because it was, cool stuff I didn't have in India, that kind of thing. And I remembered like going to the computer labs in high school, like pre-elementary and stuff, and always being excited for that kind of thing. So it was always just, I guess, ingrained to me because it wasn't something that was possible. It was only possible because I was in America, that kind of thing. Yeah. All right. So this is my history of tech. So I'll kind of split it into two separate categories. My main one is my cell phones, because that kind of just tells the story generally of like how my journey went. And then I have like just everything else miscellaneous grouped together at the bottom.
Okay.
And as you can see, I am an individual, not a conglomeration of two brands like Carrington here. That's why my face is here and not the two brands that are on my list.
Beats is a separate company.
No, I meant this is my face, not two
what do you
brands.
Mean? You have the Target colors.
Right. Okay. So we're gonna start off with what I'm calling the cell phone saga, which is the history of all my cell phones. And
I see you're a Dragon Ball fan. The Cell Saga.
I don't know what that means.
Never mind. It's lost in translation.
Yeah, dog. I have no clue what that means. Yep. So starting with the cell phone saga, I mean, I had like little just flip phones and stuff that had no like cellular signal, just like old phones that my parents had that I would just use sometimes. But I would say my first actual device was the iPod Touch 2nd gen, the one without the camera and all that. And I called these two, the iPod Touch and 5th gen and 2nd gen, my dark ages, because this was the times when I was using a free texting app on my phone to text and call people on Wi-Fi because I didn't have a cell phone device, and it was very much a struggle, a privileged struggle, but still a struggle. I think I used like Text Plus or something. Yep. It was dark times, but I did like that iPod Touch a lot. I remember like on the back of that 2nd gen, I painted like an Indian flag in it in art class. Good stuff. And then in 2014, I think it was like middle school, maybe. I got the iPod Touch 5th gen, which obviously you had as well.
Yeah.
But you had the gray, right?
Space gray, black, really?
Right, space gray, yeah. I had the yellow, but I think I got it because it looks like green to me, which even on the site, I still think it looks more like green than yellow. Yeah. And I was very much in a green phase at that time. So I had that for a while, and I loved that iPod Touch. I used it up until I think it fell at U of H and it just shattered.
Dang.
Screen, everything just gone. And it was just gone forever. Yep. All right. This next phase in my life, I like to call the phone bonanza. This is a period in my life when I just went through phones like just incredibly fast, because not like due to like me just breaking the phones, which okay, well one of them I did, but not entirely because of that. It's just because circumstances. So the first actual phone I've ever had was this Windows phone, actually. The blue WinJRW. I'm not gonna. It is a Windows phone.
Whatever happened to Windows Phone? Garbage. The OS was so good. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Having used it for like, I think like 4 months or something, I can tell you it was so good. Man, that thing was a pile. But it was a phone that I could use that had a phone plan, and I could text people on it. So I did like it. I will say one thing about that phone though. It was pretty indestructible. I would like throw it at rocks trying to break it, and it wouldn't break. Like, that's not a good quality, because you want to get rid of this phone, but you can't.
My iPhone 4S, it wouldn't die.
Man, yeah. And then when I went to India, my cousin had this Coolpad Note 3. That's phone on the top right. And that phone, coming from a Windows phone, that was like insane technology to me. I was like, whoa, this is nuts. So I was like, I actually bought it off my cousin. And then I think we like bought him another phone. So I got that from my cousin, and then I used it for like, I think 4 months. But you see, the issue with bringing phones from India and using it in America is that because the bands are different, you only get like 2G speeds here. Yeah. So I had data and I had a phone to use, but I was running at 2G speeds for like 6 months.
That sucks.
Yep. Yeah. It was a lot. Yep. And then eventually I used a Zenfone 2 Laser, which was my dad's old phone. When he got a new phone, I used it for a while, but it was cracked and broken and stuff. So one I think when it was raining during the summer, water got in it and it broke because, you know,
Yeah.
it was a phone that was cracked.
Was that Zenfone
Yeah.
a carrier only, or was it like its own?
I don't think so. I think it was unlocked. I don't think we've bought really carrier phones. We've only bought unlocked phones. Yeah. But that Zenfone I did like until it broke. The only thing I remember not liking about the Zenfone is that back when Pokemon Go came out, my phone didn't support it. And that was maddening. I don't know. It was just some like weird arbitrary thing, but my phone just didn't support the like Pokemon Go beta. And I remember like posting on Instagram about it or something. I think that I posted like long gone now, but yeah,
Rip.
wild times. Yep. And then next we have the last of the phone bonanza, the Honor 5X, which is another phone from India that I got because I needed a phone because the other one broke. And again, it was a phone from India, so I was still stuck on 2G.
Was that before Honor came to America, or were they in America when they made that?
Yeah. I think they were not in America yet. I remember the Honor 8. That was the first, I think, phone like widely available in America. But this is, this Honor 5X was just like, I need a phone. Oh, if someone's coming from India, here's put your phone in the suitcase and give it to Yanis. You know, that kind of thing.
Were you still on 2G speeds with that?
Yeah, it was. That was the problem. Like I still just only had 2G because it was a phone from India. Just the cellular bands are different. Yeah. And now we go on to one of the golden years of my life. Stability, peace with the OnePlus 3T. I remember this arrived like right before the new year happened on 2017, which is why I have the exact date. I remember like waiting for this phone to come up and being so excited. And honestly, it was the best phone I've had, best Android phone I've had. Like I've had it for like almost 2 years, almost 3 years. And
when I
that
met
phone was amazing.
I was like, yo, this dude has a OnePlus. He must be cool.
Yep.
And I asked you questions about it. I was like,
I had that OnePlus with the dragon skin on it. I remember. Yep. Yep. Good times.
That was such a cool phone.
I remember my math teacher was also like, you're like one of the only people I've seen with a OnePlus phone. I was like, yep, this phone is very nice. And he's like, yep, I agree. And he showed me his like Nexus.
The Nexus 6P was so nice. I was between that and the 7 and the iPhone 7. Like genuinely, I wanted a 6P so bad because it looks so good.
Really was. And then we move on to tragedy. When I went to India, and I think August is why I have that date, my phone fell in somewhere and got cracked. So I was in India, right? So I got it replaced in India, which was a mistake because at that time in India, they didn't have like, most local stores didn't have like replacement screens for like, this was like a high end phone in India, which is like, it was like not budget, but like mid-high budget phone in America. But like in India, this is like a high-end phone at the time. And there was no one that could actually replace it. I ended up still trying to replace it and they severely screwed that up. And my SIM card tray got stuck in there. They jammed it in there, just like squeezed it together. So I could never take it out. So the phone was nice and I still used it when I was in India. And then when I came to America, I couldn't use it anymore because the SIM card from India was still stuck in there. And I couldn't use it. Yep. Just tragedy once again. So I ended up using my dad's Sony Xperia Z Compact for a good bit, I think. Let's see. Yeah, a good solid bit. I ended up using that Z5 Compact. That was a pretty good phone, but it was showing its age because my dad had used it for a while before I used it. And it was a nice phone, but you know, it's like an older Android phone.
I like Xperias though.
Yeah.
They make some really solid phones.
I did like it. Yeah. It was nice. Yeah. I think we still have that phone, or my dad still has that phone. He uses it sometimes, but the only one of these phones of this list that I still have is the OnePlus because it's a beauty, and I still have it just in my drawer somewhere, just stowed away.
Xperia, the one cool thing about Xperias is because Sony owned them, they had they're the only ones that had a PlayStation app on there, and you could play your console
Right.
on
Yeah.
the phone.
That was pretty cool. Yeah. All right, and then we move on to February 2019 when my dad, I think, upgraded to like some Samsung phone. So I like sneakily got his iPhone SE from him. Well, it's not sneakily. I asked him for it and he said sure. So I got his iPhone SE Gen 1. This was at this point, I think, like 3 years old, but still very good phone. Like coming from like an old Sony Xperia, it was really nice. And I got that taste. I got a taste for the iPhone.
iPhones work for a very long time, so it probably just felt brand new.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, exactly. Like it still felt like really good at the time. And as you can see, I labeled this forbidden fruit because I got a taste of the apple, and then I moved on to not even like, I think 3 months later. Yeah, like February to May, like 3 months later, my birthday, I asked for iPhone XR because I was like, I want an iPhone. But I obviously, like, I didn't get the iPhone XR. I mean the XS because I didn't really care too much. And even coming from like an SE to an XR, that was a huge upgrade for me. Like obviously, like look at the difference between these two phones, right?
It's just a massive screen.
Yeah, absolutely. So like that was a massive difference, and I used that phone for.
Do you remember that video where they were like talking about the XR screen and comparing it to the Poco phone? I think.
Oh yeah, because the Poco phone had an OLED, and this was an LCD.
No, 750 for the LCD.
Yep, and everyone was like, "This is better." The XR was better. Yep,
that was a good video.
That was a good video. Yeah,
I don't know.
And then my phone journey.
I personally didn't like the XR though, because I was like,
okay,
I wanted to like, what was the point of getting a new phone if you're not getting OLED, the new technology, you know? Because the XR even had thicker bezels than the OLEDs because it needed the backlight in there.
That's true. I will say though, you don't notice it when that's the only phone you're using. Yeah, like I was coming from an SE and I was using the XR daily, and obviously I didn't notice because I have nothing to compare to. Like it's only really an issue. That kind of stuff, like only really an issue if you're comparing like at the store. Like oh hey, which one should I get? Like I used this for like 3 years. It looks like from 2019 to 2022, and it was nice. Yeah.
In 2D.
And finally, at this point in my life, as we'll see later on, I was just immersed in the Apple. Like I couldn't get away from Apple phones. Like I was using Apple Pay a lot, and I have, as we'll see, like AirPods and stuff. Like all the stuff I use surrounding phones and stuff was Apple, and I didn't really care too much about like, I need like the best and greatest phone. I just needed another phone because this phone, it fell multiple times from motorcycles and from my hand, as it happens. And the XR just cracked front and back, and it was kind of just starting to become unusable. So I just needed a phone. And so recently I picked up the 13 Mini. The 13 Mini though has been quite nice. I really enjoy the small size.
I wish I would have gotten one, but also I don't wish I would have gotten one because of the features of the Pro.
The Pro, yeah. I think that's where you and I differ just phone wise, because phone, I only use it for like calling, like social media sometimes, that kind of thing. Like my main devices are not phones, so I just whatever I can use to consistently work is
for me. I do a lot more on my phones, so even my phone's even taking the place of my proper camera too. Like I use my DSLR a lot less now because of the cameras on the 13 Pro Max.
Oh damn!
It's crazy, like the quality you can get out of it, and especially with the raw like format too. It's great.
Oh yeah,
it's a pain because I'd like taking time to like get a good shot with a proper camera, but the fact that I can get the same quality out of this tiny little thing in my pocket, well, not really tiny, but this thing in my pocket, yeah, at that point it just becomes about the experience. Like I still carry my DSLR whenever I go places. Just I like the physical feel of using a DSLR. Like
the 13 mini probably takes better photos, but I still use the DSLR. The only time I don't is at night, because the night mode on the 13s are
you get
insane.
Like more light than you get with your eyes.
Yeah, I used it for the first time and I was kind of amazed. I was using it at like pitch black and I took a photo and then it was like daylight. It was so crazy.
And it's not like grainy or anything. It's just a clear photo.
Yeah, which is kind of incredible. I plan on keeping this phone for a long time, but we'll see what happens, because I'm not, I'm what you say, accident prone, but accidents withstanding, I hope to keep this for like 4 or 5 years or something, just as long as the phone lasts.
That quad lock actually, protects your phone.
Yep. Well, I think all the times I've dropped the XR, I didn't have a case on it, because I was like, oh, I want to use the case without a case in it. And then I drop it and I was like, oh, this is why I have a case on it.
I understand that, because like the phone feels so good. You get addicted to like having it without a case. It sucks. It's a problem.
I'm not going to test this theory, but I have seen firsthand that the 13s are very, like the glass is very strong. I have a friend who has the 13 Pro Max, and it fell out of his pocket while he was riding a motorcycle, and like just a tiny little scratch.
It's crazy. Yeah.
Which is nuts.
Dropped mine without a case, like from my height to like, what was it? It was like tile in my bathroom. Yeah.
No, damn.
A little tiny scratch.
Well, okay, to be fair, your height.
But still, that's a lot of height. Yeah.
Yeah.
And just like a little scratch on the corner, and that's it. Nothing.
Damn. Nice. All right, I guess so. This is the end of my phone saga right now. I'm just rocking the 13 and seeing how far that goes.
You a long time.
And now we'll move on to everything else
within reason,
which is not that much. Honestly, my phones there's a lot more history within my phones than everything else. All right, this is pretty much everything else. So we're starting with this beauty, this HP Envy TouchSmart 17-inch beast. It was so nice. This was, I think, when I was in, my parents got this in 2014 or whenever it was when it came out, but I only got to really use it in like intermediate, I would say, like 7th and 8th grade. And the only reason I remember is because this is where I used to record Minecraft videos.
For what channel?
And upload them to YouTube. A channel that shall not be named.
What if I just tag it in the comments of the video?
Just put it in the description. But this thing, honestly, for the time, and even now, like, still pretty nice. My dad still uses it, but at the time, it was
Windows 8?
Very nice. It became a Windows 8, and then we upgraded to 10 whenever that came out, but it was Windows 8 at the time. And it had an i7, 8 gigs of RAM, which at the time was still pretty good. And GT740M, which I don't know too much about the graphics card, but I do know that it was enough for me to play Minecraft and record it on the same computer locally and still run
pretty good.
Really good. Yeah, this computer was a workhorse. It was my first content machine. And then we'll move on to your favorite. We'll go right side first, because this is your favorite thing, yeah? This cool Spec Dell 2-in-1. Oh man, I have no specs.
We got the other one.
Yeah, I couldn't find the other one. It straight up doesn't exist. I couldn't find like pictures or anything about it. So this is a proxy, because I have no pictures. It's just burning in hell. Yeah, we didn't have these. We had to like just basically, it was a tablet that had a keyboard attachment. It wasn't even a 2-in-1. But okay, I will agree. Yeah. It was hot garbage, but it ran SNES emulators like a dream.
You know what's crazy? I did the same emulator, but on my phone, and it ran better.
Nice.
I think.
Yeah, I would use this to use emulators like in math school, or like in math class and stuff. Just instead of doing classes, just playing like Super Mario World. Dang. So nice. Yep. And honestly, for the workload of schools,
it was fine until I got older.
It's just anything outside of that, you can't.
But even doing the workload of school, it struggled with like Excel. It couldn't do Excel.
Oh yeah, sometimes it was rough. You couldn't like at the very end of its life, you couldn't do like Spotify and Chrome at the same time.
We had them for rocketry, and we had like hundreds or maybe thousands of like things running in it, and loading it would take like half the class period, and it was double class period. So I just used my iPad, and it ran like a dream.
Nice. Yeah. Yep. And on the right side, I have these split up just because this. The right side is all like just more miscellaneous stuff, and the left side is like my actual PC stuff. So at the time, I think in 2015, I just got a pre-built because I tried to ask my parents to let me just build it myself, but they didn't trust me at the time. So they're like, hey, just buy a pre-built. And I got ripped off, as you can see, because I got a GTX 750 and a Core i7.
2015?
Yeah. Which the Core i7 was really good. The RAM was really nice that it was HEB, but it was DDR3, which is, even in 2015, like, that's not nice. And like a GTX 1050, this was like $1,000
You should have gotten
at
a
the time.
1050
like,
or a 1060
I 100%
at least.
got ripped off. Yeah. But that's the price you kind of paid like for buying a computer without little to no knowledge and then buying a pre-built. I learned from my mistakes, you know? It was a character building.
Is CyberPower still in business?
You will. I don't know.
Or
I have
is it
no clue.
iBuyPower now?
Those are separate companies, I believe. I don't think they're the same. Yeah. We're going to stick with the left side for a bit because I'm going to go through the entire computer stuff. So, and then in 2017, I started knowing more about computers. I realized I've been ripped off, and I got myself a GTX 1060 and a better cooler, the Hyper 212, and 16 gigs of RAM. And I've upgraded my setup to be like actually usable.
And
like
you had
good.
that 1060.
And I used that for
You
a
had
long
the 1060
while. Yep, 1060.
Now.
The 750 though, I did run GTA on it like a couple times.
It was bad.
It was bad, but I did run it. Yeah, I think it had like 2 gigs or like a gig of VRAM.
Wow.
But it, it was.
That's impressive.
It was kind of bad.
That's a lot of VRAM.
Yeah. We're gonna stick with this left side a bit more, so I can just go through all the, like my current PC stuff, and then we'll go over to the right, which is just a lot of more miscellaneous stuff. So, and then I had that PC for most of my high school, or basically entirely my high school. But then in college, when I started college, I needed a laptop, obviously. So I went to the A&M website and looked at their recommended, and that was also what a friend recommended. So I figured, sure. So I got the Dell Precision 5530, which is a Dell XPS just with a Quadro instead of a GTX card.
I'm just saying we both got ripped off. Because this...
Honestly, I don't know if I would say I got ripped off because I'm still using this laptop and it's still really
like
nice.
Right after we got it, like a month later.
Yeah.
The 2000...
Yep.
Yeah, 20,000 series came out.
Mm-hmm. Yep, a couple months after this came out, the T1000s, the ray tracing version of the Quadro cards came out. That was a kind of a punch to the gut.
We bought our computers at the same time. And I felt it too. I was sad.
Yep. But hey, it's okay because in those months I played like Horizon 5 or Horizon 4. Yeah, sorry. 4 on the go, like in an apartment because I had this laptop, which I wouldn't have been able to do. So it works out.
Does that Quadro still work?
Yeah, I think I haven't used it in a while because of reasons we'll get to right now, but I think it still works. When I went to college, I needed to set up, obviously, so I got this monitor that I'm still using currently. It's just a basic 1080p monitor, but it's 144 hertz because, you know, I need all the frames. I need all the refresh rate. But honestly, besides all these specs at the top, the thing I cared about most was the 90-degree rotation because I can make it a vertical monitor.
That's pretty
and that was huge for me.
I had to get a monitor stand for mine.
Yep. Really? Okay, dang. Yep. The vertical thing was very huge for me, especially when I was doing programming and stuff. It was very nice.
I remember for the longest,
and it is so very
I would go to your house and use like one of your other monitors because I didn't have a monitor for my laptop.
I remember that. Yeah.
That was pain.
That was pain. And then at some point, so in like 2020, I think like December 2020, right before the GPU market went batshit, I decided that I probably want to get some more performance, for gaming, because I started gaming more. I was becoming a gamer.
Is that RGB?
And I got this Razer Core. It is an RGB, Razer Core X Chroma. Now, the reason I got RGB is because the Chroma is the only one that has 4 USB ports on the back.
No,
not because I wanted the RGB.
Don't let him fool you. He's a gamer.
No, please, I promise. I didn't want the RGB.
You're a Razer shill just like me. You didn't have to buy a Razer, did you?
Yep. This was honestly the best option, I think, at the time.
I think Razer.
And also, I got a really good deal because this came with the card, the AMD Radeon RX 5600 XT, for I think like $400 or like $380.
Is that graphics card still working?
Which is at the time. Yeah, that graphics card was like a 1070 equivalent kinda, and at the time that was a pretty good deal. But then like right after, the GPU market went insane, so like that card like tripled in value basically. And I kept using it for like a long while, like up until a couple months ago, which the reason I don't have the card anymore is because I saw that the market was crazy and I could just like make profit on the card. So I sold that card for I think like $600.
I feel bad for the person that bought it.
Yeah, I know, I do too. But sometimes you gotta play the game, I sold just the card for $600 and I bought both of them together for $400 back in December. So I made $200 profit and I kept the Razer Core. And then for a moment, I used that 1060 from my old computer and I just popped it in there and used it like that. But then I swapped it with a friend's 1070. So that's what I'm currently running right now. Just a Razer Core with a 1070 with like a Thunderbolt cable to my laptop and the monitor. That's my current setup at the moment.
Mine had a graphics card in it.
Yeah, I remember you got that Razer Core and then you just never got a graphics card in it.
Bad shit.
Yep. I caught it right before it went bad shit. You got the core right after, and it was just rough.
It's collecting dust.
Man.
Yeah, I still
you
have
still
it.
have it, huh? Dang.
Pain.
All right, let's go back up here. So this is also starting of college essentials. Well, actually, wait, no. Let me go to the iPad. So in 2017, I think, sometime in high school, I got the iPad because I was like, oh, I'll take notes on it, which I did. I mainly only used it for notes, but it was nice. Throughout high school, I used this iPad, and it was a game changer. And then, as we just heard already, Carrington followed my lead, got the same iPad. It's good times. Yeah, same color. Yeah, true. Oh yeah, true. Yeah. I remember though I had to get this twice because I made the mistake of trying to just keep it in my binder and forgot that it was a thin like iPad. So I had it without a case and it basically just like broke in half and I had to just get it replaced because I needed a device to like take notes on. So I've had 2 of these iPads, just the same one because I broke it in half by trying to carry it in my binder like a dummy. Yeah, look, I don't use my brain sometimes. Look, it happens, And then when I got to college in 2019, I got an iPad Air because when I saw the new iPad come out at the time, like at the Apple event, I was like, ooh, me like. And also, I liked that the display was laminated so that there was no like air gap between it, which I was actually starting to notice, like using it mainly for notes and drawing and stuff. So I was like, this is honestly worth it for me. And it was like a couple $100 extra more than an iPad. And I still keep the old one. My parents use it, but this one is still the iPad I'm using now, the iPad Gen 3, and it's been perfect. Like, I thought about switching to a Pro, but honestly, like this iPad still does everything I need. Pro. Yeah, I know. I thought I would too, but like honestly, all I really cared about was the laminated display and the like True Tone for like using it at like different light without like messing up your eyes. Those are the 2 things I really only cared about. And I would say I care about the charging, but I don't because I still use it like that.
You still charge like a lollipop?
Because it still has a Gen 1 pencil on the Air. Yeah. I still don't like a lollipop. Although it's not really as big of an issue as I would like initially thought it would be, because I charge it like once like every like 3 months or something when I remember, for like 2 minutes. Like it's like hasn't been a problem. It's a problem like for 2 minutes every like few months charging the pencil. So honestly, I don't
understand
mind
that. But I do like the convenience of my pencil is always attached to my iPad.
Yeah, no, that is fair. I've had to get a case so that I can have the pencil attached to my iPad.
Because losing your pencil is so easy when it's not attached.
Yeah. I've had a couple pencil losing scares in the past. Yeah. I ended up just being in my backpack or something because, like I don't, my brain don't worky sometimes. But yeah, I've had a couple scares like that.
Have you ever had like a problem with the tips?
No problems per se. I've dropped a pencil on like a marble floor and like the tip broke, but I just replaced it. Besides that, it's fine.
Not bad.
Yeah. And like the tip replacements are honestly some of the most like okay pressed Apple stuff. It's like $20 for 4 or 5 tips, which is,
it's not
for
bad.
Apple pricing, real
Didn't
good.
it come with like an extra tip anyway too?
Yeah. Yeah, it did come with an extra tip. Yep.
Yeah.
Which is pretty huge. Oh, I guess I missed something. So the Gen 1 AirPods I got when I got the SE. Like as soon as I got the SE from my parents, I was like, oh,
You're an Apple
I want
shoe.
AirPod because I can have AirPod now. And then I was like, oh, I have AirPod now. I want XR. And, it all stacked. And now I'm at
You're
an
an Apple
iPhone 13
shoe.
mini. It happens. Well, not yet. Not just yet. We'll see about Apple's chilling. As a part of my just college stuff, I also got this speaker, the JBL Charge 4, which is the speaker I still use to this day. And honestly, it's one of the best sound speakers I've had. I use it all the time. It's so nice. Just audio quality is nice, and like volume level and everything about it, I just really like.
We kind of went the same path for like college stuff. I got a speaker, you got a speaker.
Yep. Speaker, iPad,
headphones.
AirPod. Yep. Yep. Oh, also, yep, headphones, because I got the Bose NC700s. I think around the start of freshman year as well, because I was like, I need headphones with noise canceling to study in crowded environments, parents. And I mean, I had to pay for it myself, but this was at the time when I had like convinced parents to buy stuff with my own money.
I understand.
It was a weird time. But yeah. But anyway, yeah, I got the NC700s, which I used a lot for the first a year and a half. And then I stopped using because of the AirPod Pros. The NC700s were really good, but man, the AirPod Pros are just so much more convenient.
That's crazy because you replace your headphones with earbuds.
Yeah. Which are all it's like $300 was just $250, so it's almost kind of the same price. But the NC700s I still use now, but only on longer flights and stuff when I go to India or something like that, where I need the 18 plus hours of battery life, or that really good noise canceling, silent noise canceling with that isolation. But aside from that, AirPod Pros I use for literally everything. If I had things I couldn't live without, the GQ section, these AirPods Pro would be in there.
Dang.
I use them for riding in my motorcycle to cancel out wind noise. I use them to going to class to cancel out dumb people noise. Everything about these AirPods Pros.
And they sound really good when you're on your motorcycle too. Talking to you sounds like you just have your phone to your face.
Yeah, the microphone actually sounds good. Yeah. When I came to from Houston to the college station, I drove back on my motorcycle and I was riding with a friend, and I was just calling while I was going 70 miles an hour on my motorcycle, just talking to him. And I could do that, which is crazy. They just said AirPods, and yeah. And if I could guess one more thing about AirPod Pros, the case size is crazy thin. How small the case is, I still can't find another. If I could find another replacement, I might go to something else just because so I could use it on other devices. But that case size is so small. Being able to fit in that small pocket in my pant. But in my it's a small coin pocket basically. Fitting in that's crazy.
It is.
It's so nice.
Lance Sebastian of Lions
Yeah.
Tech Tips.
It's a shame you can't use it.
because they just pop right out. And I was gonna say
Yeah.
Lance Sebastian of Lions Tech Tips says the same thing. It fits in the little tiny AirPods pocket.
Yeah. He also mentions that like it's good for like nice fit when like you're sleeping like on your side and stuff, which I've also noticed like if I'm like in bed or something, I sometimes pop in the AirPods because they're just nicer to like you can just like lay on your side and they don't like disturb anything. It's nice. All right, I guess moving on from my AirPod shilling.
Apple show.
This is the last thing I have purchased recently. Yeah. This is not because I was like, oh, I need a Mac. Let me go buy a Mac. This happened because in 2021, this is my friend's computer at the time, which he was using for college and stuff, and then it broke. Like the keyboard and trackpad would just stop working. And in typical Apple user fashion, he just tossed it aside and went and bought a new MacBook. He bought the M1 MacBook Air, I believe.
That is
He switched to
a
that.
steal.
And he had this laying around. Yeah. And so he just had it laying around. So I asked him, hey, you mind if I just buy it off of you? And he was like, you can just have it. It's not working. And so I took it off him and I was trying to fix the issue so I could get it, fully function again. And turns out it was just like a $15 ribbon
Was
cable.
it the one from on the hinge? Yep.
Yeah, I think so. Like
That
on the
one
hinge
goes
that
out
it
so
just
much.
broke. Yep. Yeah. All I had to do was just like pop up on the back and swap out the ribbon cable, and I had like a fully
Did you watch
functioning
the Louis
MacBook
Rossman
again.
video?
And no, I didn't need to watch a video on it. It's just like very simple to do.
Dang.
It was crazy. And to be fair, I didn't like scam him or anything. I told him immediately. I was like, hey, I just fix this for like $15. Do you want this back? And he was like, no, I got the MacBook Air now. You can just keep it. So I just kept it. I've started using it. The only thing I didn't have was a charger for it. So that cost like $70 because
Yeah.
I had to buy it new. But besides, so I got a MacBook Air or MacBook Pro from like 2015 for like $100
one-
essentially.
That one's a lot of
nice.
people's favorites. Because the last one was upgradable.
Yeah,
You can actually
yeah.
change the RAM out if you want to. SSDs.
It has been
want to
nice.
Well.
I thought I wouldn't use it as much just because it's kind of slow compared to my laptop, but the slowness isn't too bad when it compares. Like the slowness is underweight. Okay, let me put this another way. The battery life of the laptop much like overpowers how slow it is because that battery life, like even for like a 15-year-old notebook, or not 15, sorry, a 2015 MacBook Pro, like it lasts like the whole day for me, like 10 plus hours of use.
That's a dream.
which
That's a
I
dream
can't
for
get.
us.
Yeah, I can't get that on my laptop. My current laptop, the Precision, now at this point it'll last like an hour tops without battery or without charging, which is rough. But I basically only use it as like a desktop now that I can move around places, so it's fine. And I ended up having this MacBook. So honestly, when I go to classes, most of the time I take this MacBook, unless it's like something or a class where I need like specific software that's not on Mac. I basically just use a Mac for everything.
I don't blame you.
Yep. So in the end, I am an Apple shill, I guess, because I have a MacBook
And you're a
and
Razer
an
shill
iPad.
too.
And I have a Razer
So you're
card, I
just
guess.
me.
Yeah.
We're not so different, you and I.
Yeah. We ended
Yeah.
up in the same place, just
In a
in a
different
different path.
I knew it from the beginning. You just didn't know it yet.
Nice. Well, I guess one thing I did forget to mention is my Apple Watch. I guess I'm gonna scroll to around here and I'll just put it on the screen, but just put more work for myself, you know. But I did have an Apple Watch, I think Series 5, like a year and a half into high school, I think, or a year and a half, or like a year into college, because I was gonna do like fitness and stuff, and I wanted an Apple Watch, and then I used it for a year and a half, and then when I went to India, I gave it to my cousin because I realized I prefer good analog watches compared to Apple Watches, which we mentioned in that
prefer
Smart
dumb
versus
watches.
Normal podcast, I believe. I prefer good
Dumb.
watches. Yes, yep. Mm-hmm. Yep. So this is my entire discography, but for technology, I guess. The only thing, okay, well, there's one more thing I would add, but I didn't add it because it's not really like an essential tech or something. But there's those like $25 headphones
Those are really
that I
nice.
showed
Yeah.
you. Those I should have put on there. Like I got them recently just out of curiosity because they were $25 and like a lot of people swear by them. They're like over the ear like clip-on type of earphones. I'll put a picture up, but they're so nice. For like $25, that's like insane audio quality.
Yeah.
I tend to like actually use it like instead of my AirPods sometimes when I'm watching like shows and stuff.
It's because they're so 3D in the sound. It feels like you're immersed into the show.
Yeah.
It's mainly because they're
really
open
does,
backs.
yep.
So it's just straight up, you're in there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and those drivers, like that company costs, it's like I think costs something headphone, but the cost company, like they're pretty like prolific for like having good quality. So yeah, very nice.
Looking at yours, I would actually add some stuff to mine. I would just talk about like the monitor. Yeah.
Like your monitors and stuff.
Get
that's true.
monitor with you actually. Yeah, you came with me.
Yeah, the HP Omen, right?
And it was absolute steal. It was $140 I paid that dude. And I looked it up later. It's a $500 monitor that I got. And it's 100% sRGB and Adobe RGB color accurate. So I do my Lightroom work on it now. It's nice.
Nice. Actually, that reminds me, I forgot about the most important thing. I forgot about the LG Wing.
Did.
How could I?
It's the Tony Stark phone put on screen right now.
Yep, it's on the screen. I'm putting videos. I'm putting anything I can, man. The LG Wing, I think maybe I mentioned it. If I haven't, I'm mentioning it now. LG Wing, so good. It was okay at $1,000. It's really good at $140, which is what I paid for it. It's the like dream machine for watching movies and stuff on your just bed, just sitting down and laying down, just swiping it. Oh,
that's like,
man, I could talk for years about the LG
for driving too.
Honestly, yeah. When I was like driving back to Houston and stuff in my dad's car, which doesn't have like CarPlay or anything, I would just put it on a stand and then have maps on one small thing and then have music on the other. It was so nice.
Yeah, that phone is a dream.
Man, LG Wing is so nice. Yep. Okay. I think that about wraps it. I feel like I'm just going to keep talking about like random stuff I remember. So we'll just cut it off here.
I think we should.
What do you think?
We should call it.
Call it? Oh. Okay.
All right.
Let's go back to
let's back it up again.
Okay. Okay. So I guess this is probably a good place to wrap it up, huh?
Yeah, definitely.
Yep. We can call it here. I guess. So this has been Anis.
And I've been Carrington.
For the podcast. Signing out.
Signing out later.
Later.